Hello everyone, welcome back vlog. I'm Mr. Paku Paku. Excuse me. And today we will be talking about the PS5 reveal versus the Xbox X series and what that means for the Amico. Now recently the PS5 has a live stream showing off its console, its colors, and its games. And my opinion of it is it's very impressive. A lot of the old IPs like Gran Turismo, Ratchet and Clank, as newer IPs, it definitely looks like it's a step up in like the evolution of technology. Gran Turismo always had great graphics all the way from PS1 days till now, and as it goes on to the PS5, it looks even better. When it comes to the sound effects, the views of racing when you could be inside the car or the view behind the car or however view you like, um, and Ratchet and Clank, at least it just looks amazing. Like, it looks very crisp. Um, some other games, the Miles Morales Spider-Man, it looks like a step up from the PS4 Spider-Man. Not too sure if it's a sequel or anything. It might tie in to the universe, the Spider-Verse or whatever, like the movie. But yeah, it definitely looks great. Some other noteworthy games that were revealed was Resident Evil 8 Village. Um, I'm guessing that's just a continuation of 7. I believe it's the same. I believe you play as the same character as you did in 7. It did show um, Chris Redfield for a little bit. Um, they're also doing an expansion to GTA 5. Not sure what that's called, but as far as the graphics and sounds go, what they showed, it was pretty cool. I mean, what can you really say? You know, First impressions is it just looks amazing. Looks like very next generation. Um, it's just like having a super duper computer, with all the bells and whistles that you want. Um, so graphically, like, I'm not surprised. I am impressed, but not surprised of where it's going. Um, the look of both systems, though, uh, yeah, that's a little iffy to me. I mean, the look of a console doesn't really matter, you know, but yeah, the design choice, it's a little strange, but I do like the two tone colors of the PS4, PS5 rather, how it's white and black. The controller looks sexy with that two tone color, and the console, yeah, the design looks weird. Um, it kind of looks like one of those old school DVD binders with like a PS2 in the middle. I don't know if you guys remember, putting your CDs in like a CD wallet binder kind of thing, but that's what it looks like. Um, but maybe they'll have revisions of their console, and who knows? Like, maybe in 2 3 years after launch, they'll make a different revision, just like they've been doing with all their other consoles. And you know, with the Xbox X, um, what's strange to me is that they didn't really reveal much when they put out their trailers. I guess the biggest IP coming out for them would be Halo Infinite, if I have that correct. But they didn't really show any gameplay, really. I mean, at least with the PS5 reveal, um, they showed games and they showed some gameplay, not too much, but at least you have somewhat of an idea of what to expect when it comes to like some of their games. But with the Xbox X series, um, I'm guessing they'll have a Resident Evil port, a GTA 5 port, you know. Um, but what I want to touch up on too is, are the console wars the same, or does it have that same impact these days? Because it's like when you look back at the last important console war, I think it was between the GameCube, the PS2, and the Xbox. Anything after that really wasn't impactful or important, in my opinion, because it's like when you talk about PS3, Xbox, and um, the Wii/Wii U, all three audiences are different. And then when you move up to, the Xbox One and PS, it's a very different, um, it's a very different player base. PS4. I think if you want to talk about um, the best exclusives, game wise, they probably won that over. Um, like in my opinion, the Switch has the best exclusives because it's Nintendo's IPs. But um, when it comes to like uh, non-Nintendo IPs, I think a lot of people would flock more into the PS4. Because what does the Xbox One have really that you know that's memorable? Maybe Gears of War. But then you look at the PlayStation 4. They have Spider-Man. Um, what are their? I'm not too familiar with their exclusives, but they do have a handful. One like what they're remembered for. But what I like about the Xbox over the PS4 is their online stuff. Like for some reason, like I'm more comfortable playing online on the Xbox than I am with the PS4. I don't know what it is. It's like my experience with the PS4. It's like some games are just super buggy, some are laggy, and yeah, Xbox One games have that too. But for some reason, on my end, it's not as much. And yeah, I don't know what it is. Like I played Street Fighter 30th anniversary on both consoles, and for some reason I have a worse experience on the PlayStation side. I'm not saying that I'm like a lot better on the Xbox, but when it comes to lag, like lag from the servers and whatnot, I get less of that from the Xbox. Forget the Nintendo. Oh my gosh, forget the Switch. You talk about online gaming on that. Just look at videos on Mario Maker with people playing multiplayer levels. The lag is ridiculous, and it's not even consistent. At least with the PS4 and Xbox, if there's lag, it's like consistent lag. Maybe you'll have bad days, you'll have a lot of good days, but with Nintendo, the Nintendo Online service, forget it. Forget it. Like there'll be days where you're lagging just a little bit, and then there'll be days where you're lagging like you're way behind. There's barely any days where you have consistent, smooth gameplay. And I don't know, Nintendo has to step up their game, but when it comes to online services, I think Xbox has that slight edge. Don't ask me why. I don't know the ins and outs of the servers and whatnot. But all I know is my experience when it comes to online gaming, it's better off in the Xbox. I think when it comes to online gaming, PC will always be the best because that's what it's catered to. But when it comes to the console wars, I think the PS5, like moving on, I think the PS5 will be more Um, it'll be more catered to the single player, the RPG, you know, the the action adventure, 3D platformer type of gamers. I mean, sure, there'll be online games still. Like, who knows if Fortnite is gonna go crossover, or if another Call of Duty game is gonna go by. But I'm pretty sure the PS fan base will be there for those games. But I think where the Xbox will dominate will probably be the online service. You know, like, to me personally, like with the Xbox One, I believe their services are a lot better than what um, PlayStation offers, and I think that's what's going to continue on the X series, and I think that's their selling point. Like, they're going to be that, like, they're going to cater more to the people that you know um, who want to be on Mixer, who want to stream on YouTube and Twitch. They're going to cater more to the people that who want to do online clans and sports kind of thing. But I'm pretty sure PS5 will have their own lineup for those kind of games. But I think I think the Xbox X series is gonna cater more to those kind of gamers. And then when it comes to the Switch, you know, obviously they're just gonna cater to the Nintendo fans. If you grew up on Mario, if you grew up on Kirby, if you grew up on Metroid, you know, and you're still playing those games today, that's who they're going to cater to. So the games aren't going to be, or sorry, the consoles aren't going to be as important or impactful as like the console wars of like 3 generations ago. But why I say, why I think this is important for the Amico is because when you look at the trailers for whatever game is coming out on the Xbox X, the PS5, the Switch, a lot of those games aren't gonna be shovelware type of games anymore. I mean, yeah, there's gonna be a few coming out, like maybe retro style side scrollers and whatnot, but if you look at the Xbox One right now, or even the PS4, if you look at their the games that they're selling online, there's a handful of indie games. There's a handful of retro inspired games, not too much, or at least not too many that are good, that are worth playing. Because you could find a lot of indie games, and they can range from $1 all the way up to $10, and even some of those $10 indie games, they'll get 1 out of 5 stars. Or if they're good, it's because it's a repeat of another game. It's a Pong clone, just added graphics or whatnot, a story mode, etc., etc. So when I look at the Amico, it's coming out in the middle of all this, like, newer technology, newer consoles, and this is a good opportunity, a great opportunity for them to like to get these indie developers to create great games. Now, like, of course, people are predicting that the Amigo is gonna be, they're gonna have a few good games, and but it's gonna be like the Wii, how they have their IPs, but for every IP there's gonna be 50 shovelware games. Hopefully that won't be the case. That won't be the case for Amico. I'm just hoping that they take this opportunity to be like, hey, let's take our time with these indie games. Let's have some control on good games. Let's just keep pumping out games that are decent. Like, quality control basically is what Amico has to do for them to survive, like this, like being in the middle of all this. Because at that price point at $250, it's gonna be a race because you save another $100, you could get a PS5. You know, um, yeah. And when it comes to like retro gaming, retro inspired games, like I want to see more of that. I did pick up a few on the Xbox Live Marketplace and a few on my PS5, but some of like most of the ones that I picked up, I just picked up because it was cheap, and yeah, they're not too good. I mean, some of them, like a handful I got, were enjoyable. I think I got this one called what was it? It was like a side scroller of Dead Island, I believe, and it's kind of like a beat 'em up game. You just it's a side scroller, and as zombies appear on the screen, you either shoot them or punch them or whatever. It's like an old school like Final Fight kind of game with like cartoony artwork. It could have been better, you know, but yeah. Hopefully the Amico is gonna pump out more games like retro inspired that are good. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna come out with games that um, are equivalent to like a PS4 standard. But yeah, this is the time. Like this is the time for them to do some quality control. Get the indie developers like set up. Make a $5 game really worth $5. Or a $10 game feel that it's worth, like you would pay more than $10 for this actual game. So only time will tell if the Amico will survive, being in the middle of all this. I'm hoping it will. Now that I do see the PS5 and the Xbox X, it makes me want the Amico even more. Like, don't get me wrong, I would probably get one or the other this year or even next year. Because I still have an interest in newer games. I still have an interest in like the continuation of Halo, the continuation of GTA 5, continuations of Resident Evil. So I'll have to pick up obviously a newer console or upgrade my PC a whole lot more. But when it comes to those indie games, my prediction is that it's not going to carry on. It's not going to carry over to the PS5 and the Xbox X series, and this is why I think it's a good time for Amico to grab like what they can, set up quality control on those games, and cater to those retro gamers or retro inspired gamers. Because not everyone these days, is like eventually people are not going to know what Centipede is. Excuse me, I can't talk. Eventually people aren't going to know what Centipede is. Eventually people won't know the gameplay of Asteroids. People aren't going to know, the simplicity joys of playing Pong. So, so people are now like looking at, retro inspired games. Like I don't know if you people who are listening remember this game called Maple Story. That'd be nice if they came up with a single player or MMO type of game like Maple Story on the Amico. Let's see. I'm trying to think of like those old sprite style kind of games, but it might be a long shot because I think Tommy said he doesn't want any like violence in his games, and Maple Story wasn't really a violent game, but you use a sword to hack and slash like animals and weird things. But this will be an interesting year for consoles. I'm hoping that they all succeed to the people they cater to. Hopefully there's not that many problems in release. And I'm really pulling for the Amico to rise above. I mean, like I said, I don't think I'm gonna I don't think a lot of us are predicting that they're going to do better than the Nintendo or whatever, but here's to the Amico holding their own and existing for quite a while. Alright guys, that is all I'll be talking about today. Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget, if you like the stuff, if you like to hear more of gaming content, or if you like to see more gaming content, if you like to see more streams, please like and subscribe to the channel.